The IGBT on this PCB keeps shorting repeatedly. When I simply test this PCB in the workshop, it works fine, and there is no fault. But as soon as it is connected to the load, its IGBT shorts out. I have already repaired this PCB, and I have also uploaded a video about it, but today we will see why this IGBT keeps shorting when it's connected to the load. Now we test it in diode mode. Look, when we check the gate, emitter, and collector of the IGBT, you can see that all these points are showing a short. Now I will remove them from here. It is possible that some fault is still remaining here, which is causing the IGBT I have installed here to short circuit repeatedly. The thing is, when I check it here in the workshop without a normal load, it does not short circuit. Instead, the compressor runs properly, which I have also shown you in the video. So normally, this confirms to me that the PCB is okay and I can deliver it to the customer. But as soon as it leaves the workshop and is installed inside the unit, it shorts out. Now, there can be 3, 4, or even 5 reasons why it shorts. So the first reason is often this. This is the back side, and this is its emitter. Let me show you the emitter side. We will put the meter in continuity mode here. There is a point here. Look, all of these points have already shorted now. So here, I will take the IGBT that is okay. Look, let's check the meter. Our meter is okay. This is its emitter, and this one, they are the same. Look, this is its emitter, and this is its collector. So you can see, there is continuity between the two. So if its body gets short-circuited to the heatsink for any reason, if it directly makes contact, then this IGBT will immediately short-circuit. It won't even take 1 second. In fact, it will short-circuit within nanoseconds or milliseconds. That is why this protective rubber is installed underneath it. If there is any leakage in it for some reason, or if there is any crack, then this problem can also occur. So this should be normal. That is why you should also check this. This is a very important part. Normally, we don't pay much attention to this, but it is a very important thing. Then after this, there can be another reason, the gate driver installed here. If this gate driver continuously keeps applying voltage to the gate of this IGBT, then this IGBT will immediately short circuit. It will short in nanoseconds. Why? Because the voltage here should form a pulse. Sometimes the voltage should be present and sometimes it should go away. The IGBT gate should be completely discharged and charged. Then this position will be formed properly. Now, this IGBT was damaged when this entire PCB was blasted from the high side here, and that is when this IGBT was damaged. So, another important thing that plays a role here is its bridge rectifier. If proper DC voltage is not being generated here, then it is also possible that this IGBT can keep shorting repeatedly. So we have to check the bus bar of this PCB, which is this position here. We need to check how much voltage is being generated across these capacitors here. If the voltage here becomes too high, then it is also possible that the IGBT will keep short-circuiting, so we have to keep these things in mind. Now here we will make some more corrections so that this IGBT does not short repeatedly. We had changed this resistor here. Originally, this is a 47 ohm resistor installed here. So let's check what value it is showing now. I will put the meter in resistance mode. In resistance mode, it is showing a value of 62 ohms. This means that because it shorted, perhaps its value has increased. This could be one problem. Then there is this resistor installed here, which is used to discharge the gate. So let's see what value we are getting here. It is showing 9.10 kilo ohms, almost 10 kilo ohms, so this is showing completely okay. But because there was a blast here, this resistor had burned. It was correct. So what we will do now is change this resistor as well. Now the next reason could be this gate driver installed here. If this has a problem for any reason, then this can also cause an issue. So now we will check whether this gate driver has any output here, the gate pulse that comes from it, which I think comes to pin number 6. Yes, its pulse comes to pin number 6. Let me check for a moment. So yes, this is its pin number 6, and it is connected here to the gate of the IGBT. Now we will check whether a pulse is continuously coming here or not, because if even a few millivolts come here, then the gate will remain on, and if it remains on, this IGBT will immediately short circuit. Now I will power this PCB again. Look, I have connected the power, but this PCB has not turned on yet. Now let's first check why this PCB is not turning on. This PCB has not turned on at all. So this time, what happened is that, look, its fuse has blown. This is approximately its fuse, a 20 amp fuse here. So this 20 amp fuse has blown from here. Look, there is no continuity through it anymore. So when the continuity is gone, it means that this PCB will not work. So first of all, we will change its fuse here. Now I will take this new fuse, and this is a 20 amp fuse. I think you can see here that it is 20A and 250 volts. This shape will fit here. The other shape was not fitting. Now we will have to make a small adjustment to it. So the pin I have here is larger, while the hole in this is smaller. Now, since this PCB has blown the fuse, we will have to check a few more things. First of all, we need to check its bridge rectifier. Sometimes the bridge rectifier looks completely okay, but when a load is applied to it or it heats up, it can then short circuit. So at this point, look, it is showing a voltage drop of 0.901. Let's check this point. It is showing 0.486, and this one is also showing 0.489. So the voltage drop is showing completely okay. But sometimes, you cannot trust the components just because they appear to be okay, because there can still be a fault in them. So as a safety precaution, it is necessary that we change it. If you have to change any part here, make sure to install it with the heatsink so that the alignment remains intact. If the alignment gets disturbed, then some issue will arise here again. Now, I will power this PCB. I have applied the power, and this PCB has turned on. Both of its LEDs have turned on, and the switching has also started. Now I will check how much voltage is coming to its gate. I will take the ground from this point here and check the voltage at the gate. So look here, it is showing 2 volts. These 2 volts should not be present here. If this voltage remains here continuously, then this issue will occur. This means that its gate driver is shorted. Now, to do it quickly, I will discharge it from here. As you can see, this PCB has a TLP351 gate driver installed. Apart from this, let's check this value here. We will check the resistance value again. It is showing 62 ohms, which is also not correct. And this one is showing 10 kilo ohms, but we will change both of these resistors. we will definitely check the resistance once. We will see whether there has been any change in their values or not. So here we had 10 kiloohms. We put the meter in resistance mode. This one was showing 10 kiloohms correctly, but still, as a precaution, I changed it. Let's see this one because it had changed its value. So look, now it is showing 47.7 ohms. So now this one is completely correct. Now I will power it again. I have turned it on. Both LEDs have turned on. Look, this LED has also turned on and this one as well, and the switching has also started. Now we will check the voltage at its gate again. We will take the ground from here and check the voltage at the gate here. There should be no voltage here at all. It should be completely zero. Look, it has become zero now. It is completely okay now. Now this gate will not short circuit. Now we will check whether 15 volts is coming to its gate or not. For that, we will use this transistor. Look, if we look at this transistor, this is an NPN transistor. This resistor here, R55, is its base. This side is its emitter, and this side is its collector at the top. So we will short its emitter and collector and see whether voltage appears on the gate here or not. So what we will do is take the red probe and place it here and leave it like this. And we will take the ground from this position here. Now I will power the PCB. I have applied the power. This PCB turns on, so the PCB has turned on. Now look, there is no voltage coming here. I had placed it on the gate and I had placed it on the gate and ground, but no voltage appeared. Now what I will do is short these two pins together. Look. As soon as I shorted them, 14.11 volts appear here, and when I release it, look, the voltage disappeared, so it is 0 volts. Now our gate will work properly here. Previously, there was perhaps a little leakage in it, which was causing this problem. Although I had checked it here, as you may have seen in the video, I had run the compressor for 2 minutes and then left it. But as soon as it was connected to the load, its IGBT short-circuited. Finally, we will install the IGBT here. It is installed here now. And we will check this part to make sure there is no issue with it. So look, there is no issue with it. And we should not apply any paste on top of it, any kind of paste, because this is rubber, so it fits tightly against the body properly. After changing the IGBT, we will power it up. I have applied the power and the switching has started and nothing has happened so far. This means we will now test it in the unit and see what kind of performance we get. Now we have arrived at the customer's house. So first of all, we will check the power plug from where the main supply is coming. When I checked it, look, on the left side there is the live line and on the right side there is the neutral. So the power supply here is reversed. It is incorrect. It should not be like this. Look, I am showing it to you again. I have turned off the light. And look, this here is its neutral. So this is wrong. First of all, it is incorrect. So as soon as you install the unit here, it will give an E7 error. Because in all higher units, if you connect the power supply in reverse, they will not operate. Then, after that, look here, I checked the compressor. I am checking the compressor windings to make sure that their resistance values are as low as they should be, and that they are all equal. So look, I have checked all of them, and this was also okay. The compressor itself was also okay, so now I am testing the compressor windings against the body and checking for grounding. There should not be any grounding between the windings and the body. There should be no short circuit at all. If there is, then this can also cause it to short circuit immediately. Next, I am going to check the reactor here. First of all, it should not have a high resistance. If the resistance is very high, then the reactor will also be considered faulty. But when I checked it, its resistance was 0.3 ohms. 0.3 ohms, which is very low. So it is completely okay. After that, I am checking the reactor again by connecting one probe to one point of it and the other probe to its body. It was completely fine. Now we have also corrected its power supply and I have turned the unit on here. At this moment, the unit is working properly. Look, the communication and everything here is completely okay and there is no fault in it either. So the system has started working properly. And when I checked its power supply again, look, the line is coming here and the neutral is coming on the neutral side. So now this position is correct. And look, there is also no voltage of any kind visible on its communication line. So the system is now completely proper and the unit is working properly here.
Click on the left or right thumbnail to watch our next videos and subscribe. Thank you.